I think it's difficult for parents who aren't in the entertainment industry to have their high school senior come to them and say, "Mom and Dad, I want to go into the cinematic arts."
I was pushing my type of career, which is more health related, but I think with kids it's just important to have them follow their passion.
Understand that your children are getting an incredible education in not only film but how to think.
It's become the case that you have to justify not studying the media. And if one of the missions of a research university such as this is to provide a liberal arts education for all of its students who will study a diverse range of subjects, we feel that we offer that in microcosms, that in fact you are getting a liberal arts education at the same time that you are learning a specialization.
What most parents can expect when their sons or daughters gain entrance into our program is that they're going to be working very hard for the next 4 years. But the great thing is they're going to sort of absorb the breadth and depth of the greater university.
This school is still breeding feisty workers.
I'm asked a lot why our alumni are so successful. A lot of it does have to do with our philosophy of theory and practice. They will get their hands on equipment, they'll sit behind computers, they'll learn the technical side of things, but more importantly is the theory. We want our students to be scholars in the area. We want them to understand where things come from.
Regardless of when you graduate from the school, there's this unique bond between the various generations.
I always like to tell students they can sleep when they graduate. It's a very intense experience.
I want to say 4 days in, they're like, oh, by the way, your first silent film is due in a week. And I didn't know how to load film. I mean, I didn't know really anything.
Just jumping in and exploring right from day one.
Most of our alumni, if you look at them, they have moved up through the ranks fairly quickly because of the education that they've received here.
The big success story, I think, of our school as a whole is that when students graduate, they get entry-level jobs and work. We talk about the Trojan family, which people underestimate, but it's really there and it really works.
When you're there on set and you kind of are like, oh wait, did you go? Yeah, what year? And maybe you have a teacher in common. Maybe you just remember the loading dock. Maybe you remember signing out equipment and having to recoil it if it wasn't coiled right.
Having the USC School of Cinematic Arts name behind you, it already gives you credibility, and our alumni tend to look more favorably upon our students. So they've already got a bit of a foot in the door.
The day after you graduate, if you were to call anyone who went through this program 5 years, 10 years, 15 years before you, they will take your phone call and they may very well help you.
While I don't hire people on the basis of their SC resume, it doesn't hurt.
As soon as you make the connection that you both were at SC Film School, there's this instant bond and respect.
Our most successful alumni, if you look at their experience while they were here at the university, they were very proactive in reaching out to find the network connections, to find the internships.
Students want to do an internship during the summer. We highly encourage that. They've got to be willing to sort of do all types of things when they go on that internship, but they can do it as part of their directed studies, and we actually do expect them to do an internship at some point throughout the 4 years, if not 2 or 3 times.
They get a feeling for the world they're stepping into and have a skill set not only creatively but also on a business side.
Internships allow you to also meet people in the industry and network and get to know people outside of school. I believe the best way to network here is to get to know your classmates, get to know people who are a year ahead of you, get to know people across divisions.
This business is kind of small, and you may very well wind up interacting with your fellow students down the road.
I think it's critical for students at the SCA to meet students across division. This is the network. These are the people you should be working with.
We don't have the silos that were once thought to be the norm between the different divisions. That's intentional, because that is reality. That is what the real world is all about.
The industry is no longer compartmentalized the way it once was. So there's so much to make, and everything that's made is now distributed across platforms. So it's very important to learn what is taught in every division that we have at the school.
It's the classic thing that people say about SCA. You come here and you leave with a tremendous number of people that you've known, you work with, that you're going to work with for the rest of your career.
The fact that, oh, this week I'm gonna AD for you, and then next week you're gonna gaff for me, and now I'm gonna edit your thing, and just kind of the like cross-disciplinary collaborations not only taught us about all the kind of jobs within the job, but really taught us about that team spirit that I think is still behind every good production.
There is always the need for collaboration. And this is something that I think takes place whether you're talking about very large film shoots or very small media productions. When writers are hearing from critical studies students, when critical studies students are getting the perspectives of production students, when the animation students and digital media students are in conversation with all of the other divisions, everybody benefits, and I think that's reflected in the strength of the work that you see coming out.
Don't be shy. Work with as many people as you can. Try different things. You never know where you're going to end up.
If you're thinking that your specialty is a director, still take some other courses that can stimulate other sides of your brain.
My advice to students always is to keep an open mind. If you keep an open mind, you might just change it. So many people come into the program thinking they know exactly what they want to do. And then a year or 2 or 3 into the program, they discover they really love something else.
I look at some of my classmates who were determined they were going to be one thing, and then they have these amazing careers doing something completely different.
I just love watching our daughter find what she's good at, which right now it seems like it might be screenwriting. At one time she thought it might be editing, at another time she thought it might be directing. But what's really nice about the school is that they're taking so many different classes and they really can find their niche.
I think the way parents can really help is to give them a lot of support and understand that not only is the program tough, but these are really hard years for students. This is when they come to the time where they make decisions on their life, they learn how to problem solve, and they become adults.
What we learn to do is just to kind of back off.
When the students hit the bumps in the road that they'll find in this program as they produce their creative work and get the feedback and start to question whether or not they're good, what we would like parents to do is to be the reality check, help them balance out how important that feedback really is. This whole process of going through ups and downs for a student is really a learning experience.
This notion of like, yeah, we're gonna throw you in, you don't know how to swim yet, but the lessons you learn from the mistakes you make on your own movie are the ones you never forget.
If you're not failing every now and then, you're not trying hard enough. And that's when you grow, is when you embrace your errors and you turn it into something positive.
I think what parents can do to help their sons and daughters is be patient, because it's hard work, and to be prepared to work hard.
Just relax. It'll happen if they're determined and it's something they really love.
If you look around anytime, you can look around in this room, you can look around when you're walking down the street. Everyone's got something in their hand and it's got a screen on it. We are a new world. We are driven by the moving image. Whether it's in your hand, whether it's on your computer, whether it's on your TV, jobs are aplenty.
And the good news about being a USC student is you know the people here and you will know the people who went here before you.
They're going to graduate with an incredible education.
We have this amazing program.
Take advantage of that.
It's a really great fraternity here.
And it's certainly a group of people to be very, very proud of.